body bags were horror lies.
Who is this irresistible creature who has an insatiable love for the dead?
Hey guys, I'm actually back. Well, I'm back for this week. We'll see what happens next week, as I don't actually have my internet back. Our modem is busted. It's fucked. I've been gone for what, 5-6 weeks? Luckily I've had my new phone to tell everybody about this, and thank you so much, Austin, for covering me. You are awesome. I love your reviews. I'm sorry, like I haven't really been talking to everybody too much because, to be honest, it's doing it on my phone. I'm not used to it. It's all touch screen and you don't see everything that you do on normal sites on your laptops, and it's just shit. So yeah, if you're seeing this, it means I got myself to my boyfriend's house and used his internet to upload. So this week I am doing The Shining. Now, I've been assured that we've not done this before because I can't actually check. But there's a few reasons I want to do this. I was trying to figure out what to do for my big comeback, and I wanted to do something kind of good that maybe a lot of people have seen. But also, I've just started reading Stephen King's books. I'm on a big book thing this year. I'm trying to do 50 books a year for the Goodreads challenge. And I'm currently reading Misery, which is great, but I've just finished reading The Shining. Now, even though I'm going to be reviewing this movie, I also want to mention the other adaptation that they did. Okay, so if you've been living under a rock for your entire life and don't know what The Shining is, shame on you. Lift your rock and go and watch this. This came out in 1980, I believe. The book was written in 1977. Now, it stars Jack Nicholson and forgotten the woman that plays Wendy, but she was Olive Oil in Popeye as well, just in case you want to know. So basically, it centres around the Overlook Hotel, which is this huge, massive, grand, luxurious hotel in the Rockies. You know, it's up in the mountains. You know, it's all snow covered in the winter and lovely in the summer. And in the book, it's set in Maine. Well, there's a town called Sidewinder, and there's been loads of Sidewinders in Stephen King's books. Holy shit, the man just can't leave. So yeah, it's up in the Rockies, and at the beginning of the movie, we see Jack Torrance, that's his name, talking to Mr. Ullman, who is the manager of the Overlook. He's basically talking to him about getting a job there as the winter caretaker, which means that him and his wife Wendy and their son Danny will have to live at the Overlook for like 6 months, all on their own, completely snowed in. Now, Jack is a recovering alcoholic and he's had a few bad problems. He's lost his job. He really, really needs this. So he gets a job, and we see them all travel up in the sunshine, and it's all lovely and blah, 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 to take over the Overlook. When they get there, they meet Dick Halloran, who has The Shining, which is basically being psychic. You know, it's knowing things, being able to talk telepathically with people. It's kind of seeing the future at times. It's just a bit of everything when it comes to precognition and things like that. Now, he notices this in Danny, who is about 5, and says to Danny, you know, you've got The Shining too. You know, it's really cool. If you ever need me, because I'm going to leave now, give me a shout, because you're pretty strong with your Shining. You've got a lot of it. So the film is basically following them through the months, and we find out that the Overlook has quite a sinister past. There are some ghosts, there are some supernatural happenings, and Jack, in his recovering alcoholic state and the cabin fever that they were experiencing, starts to succumb to the insanity of being goaded by the hotel and by its inhabitants. But if you've not seen the "Here's Johnny" moment, then really get out of the rock. Okay, now, I'd like to just say, I'm not going to go on about the book, because Stephen King hates this film. He hates it. He hates Kubrick's version. I always thought this was a genius piece of film. I still do, but I totally understand why you can't stand it. I read the book. 1% of the book is this. This is literally, it doesn't even touch on even a speck of what's in the book and their characters and just everything. Like, Kubrick made up a load of shit. He made the hotel look completely different to how it's described. The characters are different. He even changed the number of the room. Oh, like, everything's different in this. And then what's not different, and they did take from the book, they literally just touched on. They didn't even like do it the way it was done in the book. The book is amazing. There's shitloads they left out. Now, the reason why I mention that is because there is another adaptation. It was made in 1997. There's no one famous in it that I can think of that came from other stuff except for Rebecca De Mornay. And the little kid who plays Danny was in Little Rascals. I remember because he played so 1997 they completely redid it. Stephen King took over as executive producer and he wrote the screenplay. So it was basically a mini-series. 3 episodes. It's on YouTube. I think it's in a different language in the title, but it's in English. So yeah. And I must admit, amazing. Followed the book to a T. I mean, there's a lot of stuff left out, like the hedge animals, the fates of some of the actual characters that differ in the movie, the way the Overlook looks. Everything in this mini-series was perfect. It just follows the book. So if you think this is great, or you've read the book and you hated the fact that this was made, don't worry, my book lover friends. There is an adaptation out there for you. Okay, seriously, go watch it. It's amazing. Kubrick's version is great, though. I will admit, I really do like Jack Nicholson's performance in this. I do agree that he does act quite insane from the get-go. It's meant to be gradual. It's meant to happen over time. He's supposed to be happy, but he is kind of crazy looking all the time. But that's just him. He looks like that in every film. It's not his fault. But yeah, go watch the adaptation if you're not too keen on this one, because the adaptation's amazing. I think that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I've not really said anything about like the technicalities of it. I don't know how much it made. I don't think anyone really cares. I really like the ending of this one, though. The endings differ very much from the book and adaptation to the movie. They're very, very different. But I really do. You've got to admit, the ending of this, the last shot, it's a kicker. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. And hopefully I'll see you again next week. And I won't disappear for another 5 to 6 weeks. Yeah, I'll leave it there. That was The Shining. This is a Fright Chick. Happy Thursday, everybody. I'll see you next week.